From shadows to stability. Canada to legalize 6,000 undocumented construction workers. Welcome back to Canada Chronicles. Today, we're diving into a major shift in Canada's immigration policy that's set to change the lives of thousands of workers and reshape the construction industry. With Canada facing an urgent labor shortage and an escalating housing crisis, the government has taken a bold step to legalize up to 6,000 undocumented construction workers. This isn't just about immigration, it's about protecting workers, strengthening the economy, and ensuring Canada can meet its housing and infrastructure demands. But what does this decision really mean for the future of Canada's workforce and immigration system? Stay with us until the end, where we'll break down the long-term impact of this move, what comes next, and how this could set the stage for broader immigration reforms. If you want to stay updated on Canada's biggest developments, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a story. Let's get started. The labor shortage crisis. Canada's construction industry is facing a severe labor shortage, and the consequences are mounting. Across the country, companies struggle to meet demand for housing and infrastructure projects, but they don't have enough skilled workers. Right now, the industry is short more than 93,000 workers, and that number is only expected to grow. Construction delays, backlogged infrastructure projects, and rising costs are pushing the housing crisis to new extremes. Experts estimate that 6 million new homes must be built by 2030 to restore affordability, yet without enough workers, this goal is slipping out of reach. Efforts to attract skilled labor through traditional immigration pathways have fallen short. Bureaucratic red tape, slow processing times, and labor market mismatches mean that the workers Canada needs aren't arriving fast enough. With an aging workforce and fewer young people entering the trades, the gap is widening by the day. But what if some of the workers Canada desperately needs are already here? Undocumented workers. An overlooked workforce. What many people don't realize is that thousands of undocumented workers are already filling these labor gaps, but they have no legal status. In cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal, undocumented workers keep construction sites running, yet they remain invisible to the system. Many originally came to Canada legally, arriving on temporary work permits, student visas, or visitor visas, but remained after their status expired. Others sought asylum but were denied, leaving them with no pathway to legal work. Because they lack legal status, they are underpaid, overworked, and vulnerable to exploitation. These workers cannot report unsafe conditions, wage theft, or abusive employers without risking deportation. Despite their contributions to Canada's housing and infrastructure, they live in constant fear. Estimates suggest there are between 20,000 and 500,000 undocumented immigrants in Canada, with many working in industries struggling with labor shortages. Construction is one of the hardest-hit sectors, but agriculture, caregiving, and hospitality also rely on temporary foreign workers and permanent residents to fill critical roles. Yet, without legal recognition, undocumented workers are excluded from fair wages, basic benefits, and job security. Government's groundbreaking initiative. Thank you for staying with us this far. We truly appreciate your time, and we hope you found this information valuable. Now, let's take a closer look at the bigger picture. In a historic announcement on March 7, 2025, Immigration Minister Mark Miller unveiled a landmark policy to legalize up to 6,000 undocumented construction workers. This decision is being hailed as a game-changer for workers, employers, and Canada's economy. For the first time, thousands of hardworking individuals who have contributed to Canada's economy will have a clear path to permanent residency. No longer will they have to work in secrecy, accept unfair wages, or fear deportation. They will be recognized, protected, and given the chance to thrive. This isn't an amnesty program for all undocumented immigrants. It's a targeted initiative designed to address the labor crisis while ensuring workers who have been in Canada for years get the fair treatment they deserve. Minister Miller emphasized that many of these workers originally entered legally but became undocumented due to circumstances beyond their control. Instead of deporting individuals already contributing to Canada's workforce, the government is integrating them legally to strengthen the construction industry. How the program will work. To qualify, applicants must prove employment in construction by providing employment records, employer letters, or tax filings. They must also pass security screenings and may need to meet basic language requirements. The government is still finalizing details, but an advisory council made up of government officials, labor unions, and industry leaders will oversee the process. Their goal is to ensure qualified workers can transition smoothly into legal status while preventing fraud and abuse in the application process. One of the biggest challenges will be ensuring that employers do not take advantage of the program by falsely claiming workers meet eligibility criteria. To combat this, authorities are expected to introduce strict verification measures, including employer audits and cross-checking records with tax filings and job site logs. Immigration officials will also need to strike a balance between efficiency and thorough vetting, ensuring applications are processed quickly without compromising security or fairness. The success of this program will likely depend on how effectively government agencies and labor organizations collaborate to support both workers and employers in the transition process. Additionally, policymakers are considering support systems for undocumented workers navigating the transition to legal status. This could include legal assistance, employment counseling, and language training programs to help workers fully integrate into the workforce. By offering these resources, the government aims to ensure that newly regularized workers can secure stable jobs, negotiate fair wages, and contribute to Canada's labor market without barriers. Industry and community reactions. The construction sector has largely welcomed the move, recognizing it as a crucial step in addressing the severe labor shortage. Contractors struggling to complete projects on time believe that legalizing workers already in the country will stabilize the workforce and improve productivity. Many in the industry argue that this initiative will help meet critical deadlines, reduce reliance on temporary labor solutions, and create more certainty for long-term projects. Labor unions and workers' rights organizations have praised the decision, arguing that it will reduce worker exploitation and improve workplace safety. Many undocumented workers fear reporting unsafe conditions due to their immigration status, but legalizing them empowers them to demand fair wages and protections. With official recognition, these workers will be less vulnerable to wage theft, hazardous work environments, and unfair dismissals. This could lead to an overall improvement in labor conditions across the industry. However, the announcement has also sparked controversy. Some critics argue that rewarding undocumented workers could encourage more people to overstay visas, leading to future immigration challenges. Others believe Canada should prioritize recruiting skilled workers through formal immigration channels rather than regularizing those who remained without status. They argue that the government must strengthen enforcement measures to prevent similar situations in the future. While some opposition leaders have expressed concerns about fairness, supporters of the policy argue that it is a practical, results-driven solution to an urgent problem. Canada's economy is built on labor-intensive industries, and ignoring the contributions of undocumented workers only worsens labor shortages. By providing legal pathways, the government is not only strengthening labor protections but also ensuring that tax revenues and economic growth reflect the actual workforce. This move could help standardize wages, improve job site accountability, and create a more transparent labor system across the country. Despite the debate, the economic reality remains clear. Canada desperately needs construction workers, and these individuals are already doing the job. Instead of ignoring their contributions, this policy acknowledges their value and provides a structured legal pathway forward. A new era for Canada's workforce. What this means for immigration and jobs. The government's decision to legalize 6,000 undocumented construction workers is just the beginning. Over the next few months, policymakers will finalize eligibility requirements, application procedures, and support systems to ensure a smooth transition for workers. One of the key goals is to strengthen visa tracking systems to prevent future undocumented workforce challenges. The government is also working on streamlining immigration pathways for skilled workers to prevent similar shortages in the future. Experts believe that if this program succeeds, it could set the stage for similar policies in other industries. There is growing pressure to expand legalization pathways for undocumented workers in agriculture, caregiving, and hospitality, where severe labor shortages persist. Advocates argue that Canada should not stop with construction. Instead, the country must continue integrating undocumented workers in industries critical to economic stability. If this pilot program proves effective, it may become a blueprint for broader immigration reforms. Canada's decision to legalize thousands of undocumented workers is more than just policy, it's a fundamental shift in how the country views its labor force. Rather than seeing undocumented workers as a burden, this initiative recognizes them as an essential solution to a national crisis. This decision marks a turning point in Canada's immigration policy. By bridging the gap between policy and reality, the government is ensuring that Canada's construction industry has the workforce it needs to meet housing and infrastructure demands. But this is just the beginning. Will this initiative expand to other industries? Could it lead to broader immigration reforms? The answers will shape the future of Canada's workforce. What do you think? Should Canada extend similar pathways to undocumented workers in other industries? Let us know in the comments. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks. Thanks for watching Canada Chronicles, and we'll see you in the next video.